Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. Here we are with the second lecture of this week, the 13th week. Today we are going to discuss another element of the research design, means how you write the research report and what are the contents of a research report. The last topic that we discussed was the um, how you write the chapter of introduction. Today we are going to discuss the chapter of methodology. This is going to be the second chapter of your research report. And just to give a quick recap, in your research report, first thing that you write is the abstract. And then after the abstract, you write the chapter of introduction. And then coming after the chapter of introduction, you come to the chapter of methodology. As the name shows, methodology means you are going to tell your reader that what are exactly the methods that you have used in your research. What was the topic, what was the research that you actually was aiming for, and what appropriate methodology that you selected to conduct your research. So this is basically the chapter of methodology, and we are today in today's lecture. This is not going to be a very long one, as if you have observed. For the chapter of introduction, we went into a little detail. The reason being that the chapter of introduction has some major contents which are to be discussed and which were very important to be discussed. So I actually gave time to that chapter. But now today that we are going to discuss the chapter of methodology, we are not going to give it much time. And no doubt, it's a very important topic. It's a very important content of the research report. But still, it's one thing that we are going to discuss in this chapter, and that is the method. What is the method? Why have you selected? How have you selected? What was the reason behind? And how will the research be conducted? So basically, that is all that we are going to discuss today in this chapter. In your thesis or dissertation, you will have to discuss the methods you use to do your research. Yes, when you write your research, when you actually when you conduct your research, and after that, with side by side, when you're conducting your research, side by side, sometimes the researchers start writing their thesis as well, and sometimes they write their chapters in the end. But obviously when you do something, then you write about it. So when you start writing your chapter of methodology, by that time you are actually gone through your research, means you have conducted the method that you selected. So basically, when whatever method you have selected to conduct your research, that is what you're going to tell your reader. Means in your thesis you are going to discuss which method that you selected to conduct your research. Then the methodology chapter explains what you did and how you did it, allowing readers to evaluate the reliability and validity of the research. When we use these two words, reliability and validity, this basically and specifically they go with the with those researches in which the researcher has taken some sort of method in which, for example, he or she is using some experiments. Maybe he or she is using some cause and effect of one variable on the other, or the researcher is using some kind of relationship to check. So basically, when you use these kind of methods, definitely you then have to tell the reader how reliable your study is and how valid your results are. So basically, your methodology chapter tells the reader and explain it to the reader that they can be in a position to evaluate what your research is, what method what methodology you actually selected, and why that methodology was selected, and how have you conducted your research. And along with that, the reader must be able to understand what how much reliable your research is and how valid your results are. So a little look, just to give a look what exactly a research methodology should include: the type of research you did, What exactly was your type of research? Means what method did you selected, how you collected your data, what was the method of collecting data, how you analyzed your data, means what was the method of analyzing your data, what was the method of analysis, any tools or materials you used in the research. Then definitely, if there is some specific tool or is there any specific material that you have used to collect your information for the research, you will tell the reader about that, and then your rationale for choosing these methods. You have to tell the reader why did you select this specific method of collecting information for your research. So this all must be included in the chapter of methodology. The methodology section should generally be written in the past tense. Why is it written in the past tense? Means हुआ था वाला जो एक जिसको कहा जाता है, that is past tense. Means why the chapter of methodology is written in past tense? Reason being because this all is something that you have done. You already are done with your research. You already have applied the methodology. You already have got the results. Now you are writing your research report. So that is why you usually write this chapter in the past tense. Steps to write the methodology chapter. We are going to discuss what exactly are the steps that are followed to write the chapter of methodology. Obviously, whatever you have done to conduct that research, means whatever method you have selected, obviously you will write those steps and methods. And here we are going to discuss what are the steps that are taken to write the methodology chapter. One thing that I would like to tell you guys, that as you are the students of fashion design or textile design or interior design, when you will be writing your research report and when you will be writing your methodology chapter, just think over what a type of research you are doing. Maybe your study is of exploratory nature, your study is of descriptive nature. Most of you are doing a qualitative research, and the nature of your research is exploratory or descriptive. Um, so that is why in today's lecture, while writing the methodology chapter, I have added how are you guys specifically going to write the chapter of methodology. So just take a look on the process that you are going through. Means you are collecting information about your topic, and then you will be analyzing your research. So basically, for example, if you have selected a topic, then you say that I am collecting some pictures on that topic, and maybe I have gone to that place and I photographed that place and I collected information about that place. For example, I will again give you guys an example of the historical architecture. If you have taken historical architecture, now how are you going to write the methodology chapter? That you are going to discuss which method did you use to collect your information, to collect your data. Now, that student, she visited that place. She took photographs, a lot of photographs of the interior, of the exterior, of the architecture, everything. And then she gathered information from the people that were working over there. Then she gathered information from different history books, from art books, where that kind of architecture was mentioned. Then she collected information about the historical architecture. Now, this all, what is this? This is the collection of information, collection of data, and that is how she is collecting the data. That means this is her method of collecting data. So this is how you are going to write the methodology chapter. So now, one by one, we are going to discuss the steps of methodology chapter. Number one step is explain your methodological approach. Means what is your approach of your methodology? How are you going to collect your data? Then describe your methods of the data collection. First, you have to tell the reader what is your approach of methodology. Then you have to exactly tell the methods that you are going to use for data collection. Next is describe your methods of analysis. Means once your data is collected, how are you going to analyze your data? Analysis means what is the meaning exact? If I say exact meaning of the word analysis, jaisa lena means up when you collect some kind of data, then you analyze that data. आप पहले जमा करते हो, उसके बाद आप उसका जायजा लेते हो. The reason being that obviously you have to your collected information has to be checked upon. Your collected information has to be used now for getting results of your research. For example, again, I will come to your topics like students of fashion design or students of textile or interior design. When you take a topic, then you collect some information about it. You try to gather as much as information as you can. Then what is the next step? You are now going to use that information for every kind of research. Using the collected information, the method is different of analysis. For example, if you have collected information, for example, you are comparing one classroom with the other classroom, you compared them, you got the results. Now what? You are going to analyze your results, means you are going to apply some kind of formula on them, and then your results will come. In your case, in your case of design students, what will you do? For example, you collected a lot of information and data in the form of pictures. Now what will you do? Out of those pictures, you are going to interpret your data through some sketches, through some designs, and those designs and those sketches are going to represent your collected data, and that collected data in turn represent your topic of research. So basically, this is how this also is going to be discussed in your chapter of methodology. First of all, you are going to discuss your methodological approach, and then you discuss your methods of data collection. And number 3 is you discuss your method of analysis. How are you going to analyze your data? Then number 4 is evaluate and justify your methodological choices. Means why did you not select one method, and why did you select one method? That means that you evaluate, means you check yourself, and then you justify with your reader. जैसे कहते हैं कि अपने रीडर को ये बात समझाना, मैंने क्यों ये मेथड लिया और ये वाला मेथड मैंने क्यों नहीं लिया. Means if you say that as a fashion designer, I did my research on an historical architecture. One might ask you, why didn't you make live sketches over there? Obviously, you can say that this cannot be used as a proper approach. Why? Because it is next to impossible to make hundreds of sketches, live sketches at the spot. And what I could do was, or otherwise, someone might say, why didn't you collect historical information from some books? You can say the reason being that this historical site is present in my city, and I can visit that, and the researcher can visit that place, and that was the preferred method of collecting information. So basically, and when you say that as a student of fashion design, this is a preferred method that I would be converting my research into fashion illustrations, or as a textile designer, my preferred way of interpretation or preferred way of analysis of data would be to convert my data, to convert my information, to convert my research into textile designs or into developing some interior design. So basically, this is how you are going to justify your choice of method that you used for collecting the data and then for evaluating, analyzing your data. So we are going to discuss them one by one. Step 1 is explain your methodological approach. Begin by introducing your overall approach to the research. Again, you are going to start writing your chapter of methodology. The first thing that you're going to add is introduce your reader with the overall approach of the research. Means the overall approach of your research is, for example, the historical architecture. The architecture, then the historical architecture. So that is basically the overall approach towards your research, you will begin writing your methodology chapter with the introduction of your overall approach. What research problem or question did you investigate? Now, as I say, as I told you before, that when you write this chapter, you write this chapter in past tense, means आप ये कर चुके हो, अब आप लिखने लगे हो, तो आप जाहिर है जो कुछ कर चुके हो हम उसको हमेशा past tense में लिखते हैं. So what research problems or questions did you investigate in your research? You should have remembered, and I think अब तक आपको पता चल गया होगा that when you write the chapter of introduction, in your chapter of introduction, you clearly mention what are your research questions or what is your research problem. Based on that research questions, you are going to tell your reader again those questions. You are going to tell your reader those questions again, that which questions are were under consideration and which questions have you answered in your research, in your research investigation. For example, did you aim to systematically describe the characteristics of something, to explore an under-researched topic, or establish a cause and effect relationship? And what type of data did you need to achieve this aim? Basically, you are going to tell the reader that this was a descriptive research, this was an exploratory research, this was a cause and effect research, this was a this was a study that was checking relationship of one to the other. So basically this is how you are going to tell the reader what exactly are the research problems. Did you need quantitative data expressed in numbers or qualitative data expressed in words? As you all know that your research is qualitative, so now you have to tell the reader that basically this is the step one, that you are going to explain your methodological approach. In explaining your methodological approach, the first thing that you're going to tell your reader is the introduction of overall approach. Then you tell the research questions. Number three is you tell the reader that this research is based on qualitative research. The method of the collection of data was the qualitative method. Then you will discuss, did you need to collect primary data yourself, or did you use secondary data that was collected by someone else? Now this is something very important. For example, if someone of you is doing a research on paintings of a famous artist, and that you are going to collect your information, your all of the data you are going to collect it from maybe some websites, from internet. You are collecting the pictures of those paintings from different art books. Now, this is basically someone else actually collected those pictures in those books. Someone else actually posted those pictures on the website. You are using now those pictures from that website or from that book. That means this is the secondary data that you are collecting. Any person who him or herself go to that site, take pictures or collect information about that site, that means that person is collecting the primary data. So kindly be very clear about the difference between the primary and secondary data. जब आप खुद कहीं जाकर information collect करते हो, photography करते हो, any means that you use to collect information, आप बादशाही मॉस्क पर काम कर रहे हो, आप मस्जिद वजीर खान पर काम कर रहे हो, you go there, you take photographs, that would be your perspective of taking photographs, and that would be totally and purely original work of yours. But if you base your work, if you base your research on already published pictures of any art present in any art book or in any website, for example, you have taken an art book, an art journal, जिसमें कि बादशाही मॉस्क या इस तरह की कुछ शाही किला वगैरह की pictures मौजूद हैं, you just have based your research using those pictures. What does that mean? This means that you haven't used your own perspective. You actually have relied your research on someone else's perspective. So that would be secondary data. So you have to clearly tell your reader in your research methodology, are you using or have you used the primary data or have you used the secondary data? Step two, discussing the step two, that is describe your methods of data collection. Now, first you tell the reader the overall approach of your methodology. Now you are going to describe your methods of data collection. What exactly was the method of your data collection? Uh, Once you have introduced your overall methodological approach, you should give full details of your data collection method. Means in the first section, in the first part, you have already tell the reader that what was your methodological approach, how have you conducted your research, was it qualitative, was it quantitative, was it primary, was it the data was primary or the data was secondary. You have you already have told your reader all that. Now you are specifically going to tell the reader what exactly was the method that you selected to collect your data. Quantitative methods. If your research is quantitative, um, okay, so when you have exactly specifically to tell the reader that was your research, what was exactly your research method, if your research is quantitative, then you have to explain how you operationalized concepts and measured your variables, your sampling method or inclusion or exclusion criteria, and any tools, procedures, and materials you use to gather data. Basically, what does that mean is, guys, just 1 minute. Okay, I'm sorry. So basically, coming back to the purely exactly what the research methods you're using, if you're using a quantitative research, if your methods are going to be quantitative, that means you have to tell your reader that how you actually operationalized your concept, means what exactly did you do and how you measured your variables. I guess you all know this very well now, that when we are working on a quantitative data, we we always have variables on which we work, and when you are checking your variables, you have to tell the reader how you are going to measure your variable. So this is something that you have to be very clear when you're writing your methodology. Then what sampling method did you use? How did you take the sample? For example, if you are conducting a survey, how did you select, how did you take your sample? Means was it just a targeted population, or you just took a random sample? I guess you all are now familiar with these terms, so you have to be very clear how you took your sample, what was your sampling method, and then what is your inclusion and exclusion criteria? What does that mean? Inclusion and exclusion means if you have added something into your research, or if you have not added, means you excluded something, you have to tell your reader while writing your methodology, why you added something and why you excluded something. And then you have to tell any tools that are being used to conduct your research, to collect your information, and then to analyze your information. Then all the procedures that you have used, all the material that you have used, each and every detail the researcher is required to give to his reader. Why? Because your reader must know what was the methodology and how was it being taken. If your research is qualitative, now we will be focusing more on qualitative methods because you all are working on the qualitative methods of research. In qualitative research, since methods are often more flexible and subjective, it's important to reflect on the approach you took and explain the choices you made. You have to tell the reader why did you made a choice and what was the reason of making that choice, and what exactly was that choice. Means, again, if I give you an example that you selected the mode of photography for collecting your information, why did you select photography? Why didn't you select someone else's work, someone else has done photography? So you have to tell the reader that what exactly your approach was while conducting this research. Discuss the criteria you use to select participants or sources, the context in which the research was conducted, and the role you played in collecting the data. For example, were you an active participant or a passive observer? Now, you have to tell the reader, for example, yes, you collected primary data, but you yourself didn't do the photography. You were a passive observer, means आप वहां खड़े तो थे, लेकिन आपने you hired a professional photographer to do the photography. Now this is something that you were not an active participant, you were a passive observer over there, and someone else did that photography for you. So your data would be primary data, but still you were you were not an active participant. But in contrast to that, you can tell the reader that this photography is done by the researcher, and the researcher has collected all the information. That means you have to tell the reader what exactly was your role while conducting that research, while collecting that information. Means uh, while selecting a specific method of collecting data, what was your exact role? How did you record your data? For example, audiovisual recordings, note taking, anything that you did. Means when you collected your data, when you collected your information while collecting the data on the site or anywhere, how did you record that? Means was that, जैसे मैंने photography की example दी, for example, you recorded your data by taking the photographs. Maybe someone else recorded some information by some audio recordings, some visual recordings. Maybe someone wrote at some place and collected the information by writing something, or you used existing data. Means, again, the secondary, that would be secondary data. That did you use the existing data? Means whatever was already present. Then you have to explain how you selected case study materials such as texts or images for the focus of your analysis. So if you think that you're using some some pictures, some material, or some images that already were taken by someone, um, why did you focused on those images? For example, मैं आप लोगों को अगर example दूं, जैसे sometimes people working on some psychological issue, they select random paintings. Means maybe some painter painted some pictures on loneliness, for example. Now your topic is loneliness, and that painter actually worked on, maybe he actually worked on some frustration, or he actually worked on some another topic. But when you look on those paintings, you just check those paintings, and you think that whatever comes to my mind when I think of loneliness, I exactly think like this. Then you will be selecting those images. That means you have to tell the reader why you selected that painter's paintings. You have to tell why those paintings were a focus for your research, for the final analysis. There must be a reason behind. वो जिसे कहते हैं ना कि ऐसे ही मुझे ये तस्वीर अच्छी लग रही थी तो मैंने ऐड कर ली. नो, दिस कैन नॉट बी अ रीजन फॉर selecting some specific images. There must be a solid and valid reason why you selected something. What type of materials did you analyze? Okay, now you have to tell the reader what type of materials. Means, did you analyze the pictures? Did you analyze? Why am I giving you example of pictures again and again? Because I know, as a student of fashion design, as a student of textile design, most of the students basically rely their work on images. They collect information through images. They make you guys make your research boards based on images. Then you have to give a very solid justification of what those images are, and why have you selected those images, and why actually those images being used in your specific research. What is the relationship of those images with your research? How did you collect and select them? What was the mode of collecting them? Was that some kind of website? Was that some kind of books? Any newspapers? Any journals? Some of your friend gave you? Where have you got these pictures from? How have you collected those pictures? And why did you selected those specific pictures? जैसे अभी मैंने आप लोगों को example दी. अगर आप लोग, for example, someone is working on loneliness, the idea of loneliness, और किसी पेंटर ने मे बी किसी बिल्कुल एक डिफरेंट टॉपिक पे काम किया. मे बी द पेंटर हैज वर्कड ऑन some kind of frustration or some kind of anxiety or anything, and but you somehow think that a person who is very lonely, sometimes he gets very gloomy, and sometimes he gets very he got many psychological issues, and sometimes he may get hyper, or maybe something like this. And if you think that this idea relates to your topic and you select that paintings, then you have to give a very clear justification of why have you selected those images. So when you're using qualitative method, I guess if you guys go through these two slides, you will be very clear in how to write the methodology chapter, and you'll get a very good idea. Now, coming to your step number 3 of writing your methodology chapter. Your step number 3 is describe your methods of analysis. Now, in the first step, you told the reader the overall approach of your methodology. In the second, you exactly told the way you will be, exactly the method you will be collecting your data. Now you are going to tell the reader the method of your analysis. हम बता रीडर को मेथड्स ही के बारे में रहे. द मेथोडोलॉजी मीन्स तरीका क्या है हमारी रिसर्च का, ऑफ conducting the research, then collecting the information, and then first of all, अगर आप इनको in words में बता सको, जो step 1 है वो ये बता रहा है how have you conducted your research. Your step 2 is telling how have you collected your data. Third step is telling how have you analyzed your data. Means if I talk about you guys, you the fashion designers, the textile designer, and the interior designers, when it comes to the analysis of your data, the fashion designer will be analyzing the data through the fashion illustrations. The textile designer will be analyzing the data through textile designs. The interior designer will be analyzing the data through designing some interior of some place. So this is how you are going to analyze your data. That how have you exactly used your collected data. So you should indicate how you processed and analyzed the data. Avoid going into too much detail. You should not start presenting or discussing any of your results at this stage. Means, when you are writing the method of your analysis, you are not going to discuss what are the results of your analysis. Means you will tell the reader that that the researcher used the collected information and used his or her research and converted into them into textile design. The first step was to make the storyboards, and then out of those storyboards, the design was picked. Different designs were picked. Those were the rough sketches, and then those rough sketches were converted into final designs. Then the textile designer will tell that those designs were then set into some particular textile repeats, and then those were converted finally into textile designs. Now, this is something that you are going to tell the reader, that this is the way you analyzed your research. But at this stage, you are not going to show your reader that this was my storyboard, this was my research board, this was my storyboard, these are my designs. No, you are not going to show anything in this chapter. This is just the methodology chapter, because the fourth chapter that you're going to add in your research report is the chapter of analysis and findings. And in that chapter, you will be writing exactly how you analyzed, and what is the result of your analysis. You in that chapter, you will be showing your research boards. In that chapter, you'll be showing your research boards, your storyboards, your designs, your initial designs, your final designs, and your treated designs, your repeated designs, everything. In that chapter you will be including. But here in methodology chapter, methodology की स्टेज पर सिर्फ जो मैंने जैसे बातें आपको बताई हैं स्टेप बाय स्टेप, आप सिर्फ ये बताओगे कि आप इन स्टेप से लेकर चले हो तो आपने अपनी डेटा को एनालाइज किया है. In quantitative research, your analysis will be based on numbers. In the method section, you might include how you prepared the data before analyzing it. For example, checking for missing data, removing outliers, transforming variables. Which software you use to analyze the data, for example, SPSS or Stata or R, which statistical tests you used. When you are writing the quantitative data, जो कि आप लोगों की research नहीं है, but still you must know what you do in quantitative research. When you are writing the research methodology and you're writing how you analyze your data, तो आप उसमें ये बताओगे कि what exactly your analysis was based upon. Was it based upon the numbers, or how did you analyze your data? How did you check it? How did you check for the missing numbers? And then what exactly is the method that you have applied to finally get the results? For example, you use some software like SPSS or Stata or R, or what formula exactly, or what statistical test have you applied? This all is useful for the researchers who do the research in quantitative mode. In qualitative research, your analysis will be based on language, images, and observations, often involving some form of textual analysis. Obviously, in text, in writing, you write about what your analysis was. जैसे अभी मैंने आप लोगों को सारी बात बताई है कि how you are going to tell the reader, and that would be based on language and some observations and some images. Everything that would be included. Now, finally, the step 4. Step 4 is evaluate and justify your methodological choices. You have to tell the reader why you selected something and why you didn't select a method of collecting and analyzing your data. Your methodology should make the case for why you chose these particular methods. जैसे मैंने आपको कहा, आपने फोटोग्राफी ही का मेथड क्यों सिलेक्ट किया, आपने किसी और का कलेक्टेड डेटा क्यों नहीं यूज कर लिया, या आपने किसी और का ही कलेक्टेड डेटा क्यों यूज किया, आपने खुद फोटोग्राफी क्यों नहीं कर ली. You have to tell the reader why you selected a specific method of collecting the data. So you have to tell the reader, you have to justify the choice of your methodology. Discuss why other methods were not suitable for your objectives, and show how this approach contributes new knowledge or understanding. You can acknowledge limitations or weaknesses in the approach you chose, but justify why these were outweighed by the strengths. Means you can tell the reader that this was my limitation. For example, you're working on Egypt. You cannot go to Egypt. That means you will be relying on secondary data. the pictures that are present in some magazines. Maybe your one of your friend visited Egypt, and you are using the collection of pictures she has got from there. That means you are basically your research is based on the secondary data that was collected by someone else, and you will tell the reader your limitation, that since the researcher, him or herself, couldn't go to Egypt, so she relied upon the collected information by one of his or her friend. So this is the limit, this is the way you can tell your limitation. Or if there is some weakness, means you can say that oh, okay, that site was in Lahore. I visited that place for 3 times, but still there was some photography to be done. But then, because of some reasons like pandemic, you couldn't go again there, because that is a rushy place, and that is you couldn't go there. Now this is something that was a little weakness of your thesis, but you have to tell the reader that the information already collected over there was so much and good enough that you could easily based your whole thesis upon that. So this is all the about writing the methodology chapter. If we can say that. When you write the methodology chapter, this is not something that you will say that this is not important. This is a very important chapter, because the whole process, basically, in the methodology chapter, you are going to tell the reader the whole process of conducting your research. So you have to tell the reader what exactly was the way you collected your data. Then you have to tell the reader what exactly was the way you analyze your data. I hope when you will be listening to this lecture, and when you will read exactly what will be what you have to write in the chapter of methodology, you will definitely get a very good idea of how to use your collected information in writing your chapter of methodology. So, inshallah, we'll meet you guys in the interactive class, inshallah. And thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.